There's currently a massive Nipponichi sale right now, with some huge franchises at least 50% off, so any fans of the E series, head on over. You've also got the Legends of Heroes Trails and the Disgaea series on sale, and many more. You'll get some serious hours out of these games, so if you've got some time to burn, check those out. But with that out of the way, welcome back. Another week, another absolutely stacked set of Switch deals. Some big names, some weird hidden gems, some proper comfort games, and a few things I genuinely didn't expect to enjoy. But hell, that's what this is all about. I've tried to keep this one varied so there's a bit of something for everyone. Horror, RPGs, tactics, anime, cozy management, all of it. So yeah, let's jump straight in. Alright, big sandbox time, because No Man's Sky continues to be one of gaming's best comeback stories. At launch it was divisive, but years of updates have transformed it into a genuinely massive exploration experience. Base building, multiplayer expeditions, ship collecting, trading, story content. There's a ridiculous amount here now, and importantly, most of it came through free updates, even the Switch 2 upgrade. Exploration remains the core hook though. Landing on new planets, cataloguing wildlife, upgrading your gear, it's very easy to lose hours without even noticing. If you've not played it on Switch since the release, load it up, you'll be surprised. And any Switch 2 owners, it looks and plays fantastically. I genuinely cannot recommend this enough. No Man's Sky is £15.99 or the price shown on the graphic, a 60% discount until February the 25th in the UK and Europe and the 26th in North America. This next one brings some massive RPG energy because the Persona collection is seriously good value. These games are a massive time investment, but they're also some of the most stylish JRPGs out there. The combat blends traditional turn-based mechanics with weakness exploitation and Persona fusion systems. And outside of the combat, you're managing relationships, daily schedules, social activities. It's almost part life sim. That balance between dungeon crawling and personal storytelling is what really makes the series stand out. It's not for everyone, but if it vibes with you, they're incredible. Music, UI design, character writing, it's all extremely polished, and because you're getting multiple entries bundled together, you're talking hundreds of potential hours if you really dive into them. You are getting Persona 3 Portable, Persona 4 Golden Edition, and Persona 5 Royal Edition. I know the third game was recently remade, but the Portable Edition is still great, and when bundled with these other two games, it's an incredible collection. If you've somehow missed Persona until now, this is probably one of the easiest entry points financially. The Persona collection is £21.89 or your regional price, a 70% discount until March the 1st in the UK and Europe, and March the 2nd in North America. Come on, that's like £7 a game. If you're a JRPG fan, you won't regret it. Alright anime fans, this one's for you. Pirate Warriors 4 Ultimate Edition is exactly what you'd expect from a Musou crossover. Hundreds of enemies, flashy combos, ridiculous special moves, and constant forward momentum. Even if you're only casually familiar with One Piece, the sheer scale and energy carry it. Longtime fans obviously get more out of the character roster and story beats, but mechanically, it's very accessible. You unlock abilities quickly, the characters feel distinct enough, and the battles rarely slow down. You genuinely are constantly fighting. The Ultimate Edition is the key part here, because it bundles extra characters and content, so you're getting a much fuller package than the base release. If you want a bit of fan service, or something cathartic where you can just zone out and smash through hordes, this does the job nicely. And for you Switch 2 owners out there, this received a free update, yes, free, and it now runs a consistent 60 frames per second. It plays brilliantly. I really do recommend giving it a go, especially at this price. It's currently $19.79 US or $26.39 Canadian, and it's 78% off until March the 2nd. Unfortunately, this is only on sale in North America. Right, tonal whiplash again, because Darkest Dungeon 2 is unapologetically grim. It takes what worked in the original, the stress management, strategic combat and oppressive atmosphere, but reframes it as a bleak roguelike road trip. You're managing relationships between party members while pushing through dangerous regions, and things spiral quickly if you mismanage stress or positioning. The combat remains tactical and punishing, but it's incredibly satisfying when it all clicks. Artistically, it's brilliant too. The narration alone adds a weight to every decision, success or failure. It's not exactly a relaxing game, but it's compelling, and it definitely has that roguelike just one more run feeling. It's a bit of a switch up from the first game, but if you did enjoy that, check this one out. The atmosphere is just as heavy, and the strategy is as challenging as ever. Darkest Dungeon 2 is currently £10.54, or the price shown on the screen, a 60% discount until March the 5th in North America, and the 6th in the UK and Europe. Next up is something a little more tense. The Thing Remastered is honestly still one of the most interesting survival horror ideas we've ever had. It isn't just about monsters jumping out at you, it's about paranoia. Your squad reacts to how well you play. If you hoard resources, act erratically, or don't reassure them, they start doubting you. That alone makes every encounter feel heavier. The remaster here mostly focuses on smoothing performance, cleaning up visuals, and making it more accessible on modern hardware. But thankfully, it keeps that slightly clunky horror feeling, which in my opinion, actually helps the tension. The combat isn't slick, it's messy, desperate, and sometimes chaotic, which fits the theme perfectly. It's definitely a more psychologically leaning horror. If that sounds up your alley, pick this up. It's currently £16.24, or your regional price, a 35% discount until March the 1st in the UK and Europe, and the 2nd in North America. You can get about 7 hours out of it, and it's definitely replayable. It's definitely worth looking at. Next up, and this surprised me, Metal Slug Tactics. Turning a running gun arcade classic into a tactical strategy game sounded risky, but it actually works way better than you'd expect. And this isn't a case of a company just using an IP to sell a game. There's some serious depth and solid content here. It keeps the expressive pixel art, the exaggerated animations, the humour, all of it. But gameplay wise, you're positioning units carefully, chaining abilities and managing cooldowns, and all of that whilst reacting to the enemy placements. There's a roguelike structure to it as well, so the runs feel fresh and the failures don't feel wasted, which really helps encouraging experimentation, which there is plenty of to do. And while some tactics games can get a bit dry, that classic Metal Slug zaniness is ever present throughout this game. And it really is a great little crossover. Everything you love about the series is present, and it's currently £13.64, or your country's equivalent, a 35% discount until February the 28th in all regions. Now here's something a bit different. Cuisineer mixes dungeon crawling with restaurant management, and it might sound a bit weird, but it is way more addictive than that description sounds. You head out gathering ingredients by fighting monsters, then come back to run your restaurant. Think Dave the Diver, but a bit cuter. The combat is approachable, but it's never overly punishing or difficult. It's definitely targeted at the cozy game enjoyers. The management side adds progression, new recipes, decor upgrades, customer flow optimization, and it's that loop that becomes surprisingly satisfying. It's colourful, upbeat, and very easy to sink time into without even realising. The perfect podcast game, but be sure to expect plenty of food puns. But it really is a cosy, relaxing game with barely any stress to it, making it the perfect palate cleanser as we lead up to some huge releases later this month. Sorry, I had to. But if you enjoy those mix of dungeon crawlers and management sims, this one's definitely worth keeping on your radar. Cuisineer is currently $14.99 US or $19.99 Canadian and is 50% off until February the 26th. Unfortunately, this one's another North American exclusive. And we're going a bit old school with this next one because Call of Juarez Gunslinger is currently on sale. This game flew under the radar back in 2006 and still does to this day, despite being genuinely brilliant. It's an arcade shooter at heart, but the storytelling twist, the unreliable narrator constantly changing events, keeps it fresh. You'll be mid-gunfight and suddenly the story shifts, enemies reposition, environments alter, and it creates this really unique, exaggerated cowboy tale. The gunplay is tight, the skill upgrades feel meaningful, and those duel sequences genuinely capture that classic Western tension. It's not a massive game, it would take you about 5 hours to complete. But that honestly works in its favour. It stays focused, rarely drags, and delivers a consistently entertaining campaign. If you want a stylish FPS that doesn't overstay its welcome, this still holds up remarkably well. Call of Juarez Gunslinger is £3.59 or your currency's equivalent, a huge 80% discount until February the 24th in the UK and Europe and the 25th in North America. And sticking with old school, PowerSlave Exhumed brings back that classic 90s FPS design. Maze-like levels, key hunting, hidden routes, the sort of stuff that modern shooters don't do as often. The movement feels fast, exploration is rewarded, and the Egyptian sci-fi aesthetic still stands out even today. And this isn't just about the nostalgia. The remaster smooths controls and performance enough that it feels playable without losing that old school identity. And for the most part, you get exactly what it says on the tin. If you want to kill massive monsters with a machine gun or a magical cobra staff, this one's for you. Doom with a bit of magic. PowerSlave Exhumed is £4.76 or your country's equivalent, a 70% discount until March the 1st in the UK and Europe and the 2nd in North America. I mentioned the Nipponichi sale earlier, but for strategy RPG fans, this one's a rabbit hole. Disgaea 5 Complete is famous for ridiculous damage numbers, deep systems, and basically endless optimization potential. You can level characters absurdly high, reincarnate them, tweak builds endlessly. The potential playtime for these games is mental. But underneath the silliness, there's a genuinely robust tactical combat system with positioning, abilities, and layered progression mechanics. The story tone of this franchise is usually a bit lighter and goofier than most strategy RPGs, which keep things fun even during the longer sessions. And content-wise, as I said, you're absolutely not shortchanged. This can last hundreds of hours if you want it to. But if you enjoy deep systems or don't mind a bit of a grind in exchange for flexibility, it's an easy recommendation. Disgaea 5 Complete is £17.49 or your regional equivalent, a 50% discount until February the 25th in North America and March the 8th in the UK and Europe. So if you do buy it and enjoy it, you've got a bit more time to check out the others. I think we're up to the 7th installment now, and they're all available on the Switch. And this one's a bit of a tonal switch. The Last Kids on Earth and the Staff of Doom is a bright, colourful, simple game with loads of personality. It's very clearly aimed at a younger audience or families, but honestly, that accessibility is part of its charm, and I'm certainly not ashamed to admit that I loved it. You've got light RPG progression, gear upgrades, abilities unlocking over time, and plenty of co-op. It's not a mechanically deep game, but it doesn't pretend to be, and it doesn't need to be. There's dungeon crawling, boss encounters, and a steady drip of rewards to keep you moving. The presentation is pretty strong, and the mechanics, while simple, are intuitive and enjoyable. It's very unlikely to be overly challenging for you, but it's upbeat, fun, and will give you about 5 hours. The Last Kids on Earth and the Staff of Doom is currently £7.49 or the price shown on screen, with a 70% discount until February 25th in North America and March the 8th in the UK and Europe. And the penultimate game is sticking to a similar vibe. Justice League Cosmic Chaos is very much an accessible superhero game. It's aimed slightly younger, but honestly, it's charming enough for anyone wanting a relaxed co-op with friends or kids. And if your young'uns still struggle, there's an even easier option, the story mode. It's an open world action-adventure where you swap between Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman, using their abilities situationally, tackling straightforward missions, and just generally enjoying the DC universe without any heavy complexity. Think of it as one of the Lego games, just without the Lego. Pretty much follows the same formula and humour, but it works. Mechanically it's simple, yes, but sometimes that's exactly what you want from a game. Sometimes you just want fun, colourful action and recognisable characters. And while this is enjoyable as an adult, it's definitely a fantastic option if you want to get your kids into games. And you might be surprised by the amount of content on offer. It will take you about 10 hours to complete. DC's Justice League Cosmic Chaos is £3.49 or your currency's equivalent, a massive 90% discount until March the 18th in the UK and Europe and the 19th in North America. And finally, for the last game, something a bit more atmospheric and bleak. Observer is a cyberpunk psychological horror done properly. you're investigating crimes by diving directly into people's memories, which leads to some genuinely unsettling sequences. It's narrative heavy rather than combat focused, so be ready to expect exploration, investigation and world building over flashy action sequences. The visuals definitely take some inspiration from Blade Runner. It's very cyberpunk in nature, with the neon, decay and oppressive environments. The sound design deserves special mention too. Headphones are heavily recommended here because it really does enhance the gameplay. It's not a massive game, but you'll still get about 7 hours out of it. It's a slower, mood-driven horror with strong storytelling, and it's definitely one to consider. The Observer is £2.69 or your regional price, a 90% discount until March the 7th in North America and the 15th in the UK and Europe. And that's going to do it for this week's sales roundup. Hopefully there was something in there worth adding to the backlog, or completely destroying it, depending on how disciplined you are. As always, let me know what you're picking up, because I do genuinely like seeing what everyone else spots in these sales, and sometimes you'll find a lot of absolute gems that I've missed. If you enjoyed this one, a like really helps the video get seen, and if you're new around here, stick around. These deals videos tend to pop up pretty regularly whenever the eShop decides to tempt us all in again. But with that said, thanks for watching, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all next time.